Are we good? Yes. We are live. We are live. Okay. We are live. This has to go. I know. This one. Yundos to Donda. Okay. We live. We are live. Let me check. Are we live? 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 All right. So this is going to be 2 hours stream. We are going to solve maybe like 20 different questions just on geometry. So if you're here and you're live, please, if you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching me from, please just tap your screen and take your paper, calculator, whatever it is, if you want to solve as well. I'll give you some time. Okay? Okay, so let's get started. I always try to redraw the diagrams because looking at what I'm seeing, you might not see them clearly. So I will redraw them and we try to analyze the diagrams. Okay? Okay. So the first question looks like this. Okay. Uh, there should be a straight line. Okay. And we have this. Then we have from this to this. We have this line. Uh, yes. That should be slanted a bit. Okay. This is the only moment we have to wait a bit. So let's get it right. Yes. So once that is done, let's put the angles. There are a few things we need to know here. We are given this, this. That shows that this particular triangle. So let me label, this is A, this is B, C, here is D, and this is E. Then we have this and this, which shows that angle BCE is an isosceles triangle. Same way, angle A, B, and D is also an isosceles triangle. In fact, all the three of them are isosceles triangle. Okay? Same way as D, E, and B. They are all isosceles triangle. Now, you're given this to this. This is C and this is E. Then this is given as A. This is given as B. This angle, I'll just write it out here, is given as 15 degrees. What else? Then this angle here is given as, okay, this is D, sorry. This is D. And this is, I'll just put it out here, this is B. I don't know if that helps. Can you guys see it clearly? If you do, please tap your screen, okay? Or just say yes, especially those of you that are on TikTok. Please, I just want to be sure you can see everything clearly. A yes is enough, please. Guys, please, I just need yes. Can you guys see the diagram clearly? Are you guys active here? All right. So let's try to solve this question. This is very easy. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll bring this one. Let me bring it here. So if we want to find, let's say we want to find A, let's extract triangle. Uh, okay, that's not looking good. Okay, so triangle ABD. ABD. So triangle ABD. If you look at triangle ABD, it has. I actually don't want to repeat drawing this, but I think I just have to do it. So you, whoever, in case you don't understand, you will be able to understand clearly. So we have this, but this angle here is given as 15 degrees. This is given as A. Then this is given as B. So that's very easy, right? There's some of angles in the triangle, but this is an isosceles triangle. And the reason why it's an isosceles triangle, because you see these two lines. Let me use a yellow. You see this line and this other line indicates that the base of those angles are the same. Okay, so for an isosceles triangle, two of the angles are equal. Okay, especially the base. So meaning this angle here and this angle here are the same. Okay, so because it is an isosceles triangle, what we do, we can just add. The first thing we have to do is this. So we know A is equals to 15 degrees. You say base angles of an isosceles triangle. Base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. Okay, so that's the answer for A. Easy, right? Now, if you want to find B, you say A plus B plus 15 degrees. Everything here equals to 180 degrees. Why? Because there are sum of angles in a triangle. Okay? But B is also 15. So I'll just bring this one up. Yes. So we say, A is also 15, so this becomes 15 plus B plus 15 again degrees equals 180 degrees. Okay? So if we add 15 and 15 gives you 30 degrees plus B equals 180 degrees. We need B. So what we do, we isolate 30. So this becomes minus 30 here. And whatever you do on the left, you also do it on the right, right? So this and this goes. We are left with B. So hence my B is equals to 180 minus 30 degrees. Therefore, your B is 150. So that is your answer for B. We've gotten A, we've gotten B. We need to find either C, D, and E. They are the ones that we need to calculate next. Okay? So I'll just take the, I'll just get rid of this. Or let me write the answers first somewhere. Let me use the yellow. So my A is 15 degrees. My B is 150 degrees. So let's look for either CD or whatever it is, okay? Let me take out this. So this goes. Oh, this is not the time. Okay. So let's look at the diagram again and see what else we can easily get. Okay. So now we 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 have we know B already. This B. If we know this B, we can easily calculate for this angle here. We don't know what this angle is, but that can be calculated easily. So we can take a letter to be this. Let's say that letter is F. Okay. So this angle here, this angle, say that angle is F. So if that angle is F, you say F, blue, F plus B is equals 180 degrees. Why? They are what? Adjacent angles. Okay. Or you say angle, sum of angles on a straight line. So for geometry, you always try to give a reason. Okay? You always try to give a reason. So therefore, but we know what is B already. B is 150. So we can say F plus 150 is equals 180 degrees. We subtract here by 150 and here again by 150 degrees. This and this goes, so your F is equals to 180 minus 150. Your F is 30 degrees. And we there is another way we would have gotten that answer easily. And I'm going to show you that right now. Okay? Let me show you that. Let me take out this. This one's messed up. So we have, just draw this again. Okay. Then this angle here is B. We just calculated this angle here to be F. Okay. Now, there is another way we would have solved that. Let me just, if you look at triangle, if you look at triangle A, B, D, that means this here and this. Whenever you have a triangle, right, one of the lines extend outside. So let me just draw that. You have something like this, and you have this, and you have this. Okay, perfect. Something like this, assuming this is a straight line anyways. Let me take out, let me take out this one. Okay, that's mad. Anyway, that's a triangle. And so from this is D, this is A, and this is B. Okay, so that's what you have, what you can see right now. Now, if you look at this, you have this as 15, then this again as 15. If you need this angle here, if this is, let's say, which is F, according to this diagram, this original diagram, this was F. This f is just equals to 15 plus 15. Okay? And that rule is that one exterior angle in a triangle, one exterior angle, this is an exterior angle here, is equals to the sum of the two opposite co-interior angles. Okay? Always. This angle outside is equals to the sum of these two here. And that is it. So we would have used that property. We still get f as 30. But without using it, by just using the adjacent relationship here. So this angle and this angle, they are on a straight line. So that still gives us the answer, right? So we've gotten F, but we need C. If we extract that triangle, okay, so I'll just take this. We don't need it. I needed it to demonstrate. We even don't need F, but because we can't get C without getting F, so this F right now, so this F is 30 degrees. If F is 30, C is also 30. So let me redraw the shape, which is, okay. So let's get the shape, which is triangle. Okay. So that's triangle BDE. BDE. If we draw that, we are going to have something like this. Okay. So assuming these are all straight line, okay? So this is your B, this is E, and this is D. So we've gotten this one, which is 30 degrees. But if you look at it, we are given something. You see these lines, so which are this here and this, okay? They indicate that this particular triangle is an isosceles triangle, okay? Just those two lines helps us a lot in solving this question. So this angle is C, right? It's C. So we can just say C is equals to 30 degrees. You say base angles of isosceles, base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. Okay? So the base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. Easy. So that is it for C. So we've gotten C. Let me put this answer here. Is 30 degrees. So we have A, B, C. We need to find E and F. That is the next thing. That is the next thing. So let's see. Let's solve that. Okay. Guys, I'm just checking all my socials to be sure that I am active on all of them. Okay. Yes, so we are good. Just give me a moment if you're watching. So I'm streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So I will want to share this live, especially on my Facebook page. So you guys give me a moment. Okay. Okay. We are here. We are here. We are here. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Give me a moment. If you're on TikTok, please tap your screen. If you're on YouTube, please follow, subscribe, share the live. Okay. So I'm just sharing this live, okay? Can have more people here. We'll continue. Once I'm done. So what is the answer? How do we get D and E? If you want to try that, you can, okay? How do I get? So we need to calculate right now this angle and this angle. Those are the ones that are yet to be solved, okay? So if you want to try them, you can. How do we get D and E? What do you think the answers are? What are the answers for D and E? Okay, so let's continue. Think we are good. Yeah, so we've gotten C, we've gotten A, we've gotten B. Next, let's find D. And once we get D, we can easily get E. Now, how do we get D? If we look at this triangle that we've extracted, let me look at it. B, D, and E. This one comes here and this, right? We've gotten 30 here, we've gotten 30 here. We need to find this other angle. Okay? We need to find this. And that's very easy because we already know two of the angles. So if we need this one, let's say this is T. So we know 30 plus C plus T is equals to 180 degrees. Why? Because angles in a triangle, right? The sum of angles in a triangle. We already know C as 30 as well. So we say 30 plus 30 plus T is equals to 180 degrees. So our final answer becomes this is 60 plus T is equals to 180 degrees. Okay. Then we need T. So minus 60 here. This again minus 60. This and this goes. My T is 120 degrees. So this angle here is 100. So this angle is 120. If we know that angle, we know A already. This is T, by the way. So you can add A, T, and D and sum them to be 180 degrees. Okay? If you're just joining, you might not understand, but if it's still longer, you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay? So now, if we look at this from here onto this, they are angles on a straight line. They are adjacent angles, right? Adjacent angles. So therefore, A plus T plus D is equals to 180 degrees. You see, adjacent angles are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180 degrees. Supplementary, okay? Or you can say angles on a straight line. Easy. So in that sense, we already know what is A. A is here as 15. We've calculated that. So we have 15 degrees. T again, we've calculated T to be 120 degrees. We just need D. This is equals to 180 degrees, right? So we add 15 and 120, that gives you 135. So this is 135 degrees plus D equals 180 degrees. What do we need? We need D. So we subtract here by 135, this again by 135. So this and this goes. If you're here and you're active, please tap your screen. Okay. So what is our answer for D? So my D is equals to, you subtract 180 minus 135. So your D is equals to 45. Okay. So this is 45 degrees. So let's put the answer for D here. So now we only need one more thing, which is E. We need E. So let's calculate E. Let me just draw the diagram for that. That triangle. We don't need all of this anymore. So we say triangle. Okay. So triangle BCE. BCE, which is this, and this, right? So this is your E. This is your D. We don't know. There's not an in there. Okay. So if this is your D and this is your E, we can just take any letter to be this one. Let's say this is H. Okay. So now you can say D plus E plus H equals 180 degrees. This is sum of angles in a triangle. Okay. So the sum of angles in a triangle are supplementary. It add up to 180 degrees, right? So once we have that, we know D, we know, but, okay. But D is equals to H, which is equals to 45. Why? Because they are base angles of an isosceles triangle. So let me put what shows that they are equal. So this was there, and this again was there from the original diagram. So it shows that D is equals to H. That is an isosceles triangle. Okay? So we say base angles of an isosceles Base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. So if we know D and H are 45, therefore this becomes 45 from that equation plus E, which we are looking for, then plus another 45 is equals to 180 degrees. So we have 90 plus E equals 180. We are in need of E. What we do? We subtract both sides by 90. We subtract both sides by 90. So we have 90 plus E is equals to 180 degrees minus 90 here, minus 90. This and this goes. So my E is equals to, you subtract, that gives you just 90. So our answer for E is 90 degrees. So those are all the answers, okay, for this question. Okay, we've gotten all the answers, A, B, C, D, and E. So let's look at the next question, okay? It says, find the value of the reflex angle marked Y in the diagram. So I will draw the diagram and we find the solution to that. If you're on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, subscribe and follow for more, okay? Then tap your screen if you're on TikTok. So let's get this straight. This line has to be drawn straight. Okay. So let's just redraw this diagram and find the answer. Okay. Yes, so we are given this angle here and we are given this other angle. This is giving us 40 degrees. And this again is giving us 40 degrees. We are asked to calculate this angle. Oh, no. We are asked to calculate this angle, okay? Yeah, as Y. So how do we do that? Let me just add the labeling. This is E, this is D, this is A, this is B, C, and F. So there's something very, very much important here that you need to understand, okay? And that is this. You can see these lines, okay? It shows that whenever you see this and you see it here, it shows that line AC is parallel to line DF. Okay? This AC is parallel to this. And because they are parallel lines, then solving this question becomes so easy. Okay? Once we know they are parallel lines, then it becomes so easy to solve. So let's see. So now the first thing we have to do, we have to add another parallel line that passes through the center of this. Okay? And that's what we are going to do. So that's the parallel line we need. Let me just move it this way. Fine. So that's the third parallel line that we need. And once we get that, then solving this question becomes so easy. So we've added that. Now we need to add other angles here. Then we add this other angle here. So now this line we've added, let's label that as GH here. So now let's just focus on parallel lines AC and GH. Let's just focus on that. We have this, we have this. Then you have a transversal line like this. It's there, which is this, right? Then this is given as 40. If you need this angle here, let's say this one we don't know. Let's say this is angle A. We know this is parallel to this, and this line, this one, is a transversal line, so we can even extend it outside. Can even extend it outside here. Okay, so that's very easy. Whenever we have a Z shape, like if you go this way, you come this way, and you go this way. So a Z shape, this angle is equals to this. They are alternate angles. Alternate angles are the same, okay, or they are equal. So therefore, your A is just 40 degrees. So meaning this angle here as well is 40. And the same way as this, so I don't need to repeat because it's more like the same thing. If we consider this G and this, okay, they are both 40s. So once we know that, now we are going to look at something here. I'll just draw a look at it. Look at this and okay. So that's like a circle, right? Angles at a point. So where is that point I'm talking of? This is the point here. You see this line coming here, this again. Okay. Angles at a point are sum up to 360 degrees. Okay. Angles at a point sum up to 360 degrees. So meaning your 40 plus the other 40 plus the y, which is the reflex angle degrees, also equals to 360 degrees. You say sum of angles at a point. Okay. So sum of angles at a point add up to 360 degrees. So if you add 40 and 40, that gives you 80 plus y is equals to 360 degrees, right? We need what? We need y. So minus 80 minus 80 here. This and this goes. Your y is equals to 360 minus the 80. So your y is equals to what? So you basically just subtract, right? So if you subtract 80 from 360, you have what? So that gives you, I guess, 280, which is your answer. Okay. 280 degrees, and that is your answer. So we've solved question 7. I'll bring another question. Okay. So this was very easy anyway. So let's see. Delete this one. Then take all of these off. And bring in another question. Okay. So let me look at the questions we have to solve. So let's solve the next two. And I'll bring again the next two. Okay. So now we have these two fresh questions. Okay, so question 2 says, in the figure below, find the values of x and y. Question 3 says, in the figure below, ABC is an isosceles triangle. Triangle ABD has a right angle at B. Angle ADB is 40. Angle CBE is 50 degrees. Work out for the sizes of angles X and Y. Um, if you're active, please tap your screen, please. So let's solve question 2. We always want to draw the diagram because that's going to help you guys for you to see it clearly. So we have something like this, and I'll try to exaggerate so you guys can see clearly. No, that's too bad. Okay, then let's just extend. I'm deleting this one. Oh, shit. Okay. Yep. So we have this. Next, we draw this other line here. Yep. Okay. Good. Mm. Then we have something like this. We have this. We have this. No, that's not an angle. Anyways, so it doesn't. This again. All right. I think that helps. So now let's put the angles. Okay. Uh, here, this is X. This one is 45. This is Y. This again is Y. And here is X. Okay. Yes, this is good. This is good. This is good. If you're on TikTok, please tap your screen, share the live so we can have more people, please. Okay, so let's solve. This is somehow tricky. You have to think outside the box for you to figure out what is the approach to this question, okay? Um, this is good. So I want to start by labeling this so so it can, we can find it very easy to solve. Let's label. Let's say this is A, this is B, here, this is C, and this is D. Okay? We are done labeling. So now it's going to be very easy for us to solve. All right, so let's solve. All right. So let's look at triangle. You see from triangle ABD. Where is triangle ABD? Which is this? You have this. Then we have something like this. Okay. So now we have this is A, this is B, and this is D, right? And this angle here is 45. This is Y. Outside this, we have X. So because of that, solving this question becomes so easy. Okay? So we can say X is equals to Y plus 45 degrees. Y, say one exterior angle is equals to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. Okay, so this is equals to these two. So that's one thing you should know. Okay, easy. So once you know that, we are going to keep that as equation 1. Now we are going to look at the other triangle, which is BCD. Okay, you say from triangle BCD. So if you look at triangle BCD, we can say X plus X again, and plus Y is equals to 180 degrees. Why? They are angles in a triangle, right? You say sum of angles in a triangle. So this one is going to be equation 2. So once we have equation 1 and equation 2, we can easily find the solution to the question, right? That becomes very easy to solve. Yeah, so easy. All right. All right. All right. All right. Oh. So let me get rid of this. This. So remember we have X equals to Y plus 45. This is equation 1. Then we also have X plus Y as 180 degrees. This is equation 2. So now we just have simultaneous equation. From angles to simultaneous equation. Isn't it wonderful? So now let's simplify first this equation 2. This one. So that becomes 2x plus y equals 180 degrees. The same as equation 2. Now we can solve, right? You say say from from equation 1. Equation 1 we know is x equals to y plus 45 already, right? Substitute Substitute equation 1 into equation 2, right? We just use substitution method. So we know already x. So wherever we see x in equation 2, we put y plus 45, which is 2x plus y equals 180 degrees. But x is this, right? So 2 into y plus 45, then plus another y, this y now. This sum up to 180 degrees. Okay. 6675. 6675. So now, who is this? What we do, we distribute 6675. Guys, just give me 6675. Okay. So we distribute this, that gives you 2y plus, then this to this gives you 90 plus another y equals 180 degrees, right? Then if I take this one off, we have 3y. If you add, what is this? That gives you 3y plus 90 equals 180 degrees. But we need y. So let's isolate. This becomes minus 90 here. Minus 90. This and this goes. I have my 3y equals to 90 degrees. But I'm in need of y. So I'll divide here by 3. This by 3. This and this goes. So my y is equals to 30 degrees. Now you can easily get x. Remember, let me clear this one. Let's recall. Equation 3 was x equals to y plus 45. This was equation 3. I mean equation 2. It's not even equation 3. It was equation 1, right? That was equation 1. So now we have y. We can easily get x. See, but y is 30 degrees. So therefore, your x is 30 plus 45. So my x is 75 degrees. So x becomes 75 degrees. Okay? Easy, easy. So that is it for question 2. So x is 75. Your y is 30 degrees. Okay? So this again is going to be 75. Then this is 30 degrees. Okay? So let's do the next question. Question 3. Let's do question 3. Let's do question 3. Let's do question 3. Let's do question 3. So we always start by drawing the diagram so you guys can see it clearly. So we have this, and this looks like a straight line here. Then I need to extend this a bit. Yep. Then from there, we have this. Then we have this to this. And from this to this. All right. We have this line, then this line. That shows that that particular triangle is an isosceles triangle. Once you see those, it tells you that those triangles are the base of the isosceles triangles are the same. So we are given this angle as 90 degrees. That- so we have this and this. Uh, okay, this should be 90 degrees anyway. You can see it there from the diagram. Then this other angle now, this is given as 50. Okay. And this is Y. Then this one is X. This angle is 40. Now let's label. We have this as A, this as B, C, this is D, and E here. All right, so let's solve. Let's solve. We need X and Y. We need X and Y. This is very easy. Let's extract triangle. You see from triangle, that does not look like a triangle. Anyways, so from triangle ABC, A, B, C. Okay? What do you see from triangle ABC? Triangle ABC, let's get it here as well. I always like to, let's just extract that. That should not be a problem. Extend it right up here. Okay. Then we have this, this to this. Now the next one, we have this to this. Okay. Then we have this line, which extends something like this, right? Which is the B. This is your B, and this is E. This is C, and this is A. So when I say triangle, I mean the ABC. Okay. But this one is given as 90. This is given as 50. But there's something there. Then this is given as Y. Even if we don't know this one, we are going to find this angle. Let's say this is T. There's something very important we are given. We are given this and these lines. And they are not there for decoration. They're there to tell us that this particular triangle is an isosceles triangle. Guys, please share the live. Tap your screen. Okay? So now because we know it's an isosceles triangle, the base angles, these base angles here, this one and this are equal. Okay? The base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. They are supplementary. I mean, they are equal, sorry. Okay? Or congruent. So now you have, that means your y is equals to t. Okay? Or you can say t is equals to y. But because we are looking for y, let's just say y. Okay? So it means that this other side is also y. But the whole of this from here to this makes up what? That is 90 plus 50 already, which is 140 degrees, right? We know that. So the whole of this is 140. So we say 140 plus y plus t is equals to 180 degrees. The sum of angles in a triangle, right? Sum of angles in a triangle are supplementary. But we know y is the same as t. So we can say 140 plus y again. Okay, here, when you say y is equals to t, you have to write the reason. Always give the reason. See? Base angles of an isosceles. Okay? Always give your reason. So now everything here is equals to 140 plus y equals 180, right? So this gives you 140 plus 2y equals 180 degrees. So I'll just take the diagram. We can finish this one. We don't need this as of now. So this becomes 140 plus 2y, 180. We need to find y. So what do? We subtract 140 here, 140 here. This and this goes. So your 2y is equals to 40 degrees. But we are in need of y and not 2y. So we divide here by 2. This by 2. This and this goes. So my y is equals to 20 degrees. Okay? Y is equals to 20 degrees. Easy. So now, once we get y, the next thing is to find our x value. So we are going to extract triangle ABD. Okay, so let's give the answer for y. Let's put it here. Y is 20 degrees. Let's extract you see from triangle ABD. From triangle ABD. So where is that triangle? You have something like this. We have this. And we have a 90 degrees here. Okay. So this is your A, this is your B, and this is your D. This angle is 40 degrees. Then we have another line, this one, and it extends out, right? Which is the E here. Okay. But we are given this one, and that's what we need right now, X. This one as Y, which we already have. Okay. So we can say X plus y plus this 90 degrees plus 40 is equals to 180 degrees. Okay? The sum of angles in the right angle triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle. Okay? So this becomes x. Y is now 20 plus 90 plus 40 equals 180 degrees. So your x plus, you add this, gives you, this is 60 plus 90 gives you 150. 150 degrees is equals to 180. Okay? So then we subtract minus 150 here, minus 150. This and this goes. So your x is 30 degrees. So your x is 30 degrees. So therefore x. So those are the answers for x and y. So let's bring in the next question. Okay. So let me get rid of this. Your job is done here. Okay. In my shoulder. Okay, rest on me. Okay. So we don't need this anymore. Let's bring in the other question to solve. In my shoulder. So our next question is here. Okay. So this question says determine the values of D, E, and F. We have to determine the values of D, E, and F. If you want to give it a try, give it a shot. And in a minute, 30 seconds, I'll solve that. If you want to give it a shot, go on. Okay. Who is here? Who is here? Who is here? Who is here? Okay. So let's solve this question. Okay. First thing, we have to redraw the diagram so you guys can see it clearly. We have this. Then we have this. We have this. I'll just extend this one a bit. Next, we have this one. Which these lines indicate that these are parallel lines, by the way. Then the angles, this is 132. This is D. This is F. This is E. And this is 65. Okay. So with that, let's see how we can calculate now. Let's see how we can calculate D, E, and F. If we look at the parallel lines, which are this one and this angle here, this should be the 132. Okay. So this is the 132. This we don't know. So let's take a letter to be here as G. Okay. So we can say G plus 132 is equals to 180 degrees. Why? You see sum of angles on a straight line. Okay. So your G plus 132 is equals to 180 degrees. We need G, we say minus 132, then minus 132. This and this goes. Okay, so my G is equals to 180 minus 132 degrees. So if you subtract that, that gives you 48. 48 degrees. So if this is 48, if this is 48 degrees, then E is also 48. E is also 48. Now, we have this. When we have something like this, we have this line, then we have this. So let me just delete this other line. So now this is E, and this was G. Okay? Those two angles are alternate. Okay? If this is a parallel line, this is a parallel line, then this is a transversal line, then this and this are alternate angles. We have a Z shape. They are alternate. So my E is equals to G, which is what? 48 degrees. Why you say alternate angles are equal. Okay. So if that is the case, we know this E is also 48. Now, if we know E, we have from here to here as E, then we know from this to this as 65. We can easily get this one because they are adjacent angles. All of them sit on this straight line. Okay. So let's just do that. We can say F plus E plus 65 degrees equals 180 degrees. This is sum of angles on the sum of angles on a straight line. Okay. So we don't know what F is. So F plus E is now 48 plus 65 equals to 180 degrees. So my F plus, you add 65 and 48. That gives you, so if you add the two, 8 and 5, so we have this 13, 6 and 4, 10 and 1. That gives you 113. Okay. Everything here is equals to 180 degrees. But we need F. So say minus 113, minus 113. This and this goes, so my F is equals to 180 minus 113. So your F becomes, you subtract 113 from 180. This is 7. 7 by 1. That gives you 67 degrees. So that is your F value. So we know E as 48, F as 67. We need to find D. We say D plus your G plus my F equals to 180 degrees. Okay? Y, sum of angles in a triangle. So the sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Right? Okay. So the D is what we need. E is 48. F is 67 equals 180 degrees. So we have D plus, if you add 48 and 67, that gives you 115. 180 minus 115 minus 115. This and this goes. So my D is equals to 180 minus 115. So your D becomes, if you subtract that, this gives you 5. You're left with 7 by that. So that gives you 65 as well. All right. So hence your answers, your D is 65 degrees. Your E is 48. Your F is 67 degrees. Okay. So let me bring more questions. What is this? So let's solve. In the diagram below, determine the value of x. So we have to redraw question 1. Okay. we have to redraw question 1. So that's the first thing we have to do. Question 1 is this one. Then we have this. And then we have this. We have from this to this. From this to this. Then from this to this. Okay. And the last thing, I think this one should go up a bit. Like this, then no. And from here to here. Okay. So let's label. This is C. This is A. This is B. This is D. And this is E. All right. Now, this angle is given as 70 degrees. This is given as 10 degrees. This is 60 degrees. This is 20 degrees. And this is the angle we are looking for. X. That is the angle we are looking for. Okay. So let's see how we can get that angle. Let's see how we can get that angle. Okay. All right. We are going to manufacture lots and lots of things here. Let these points, let these points be, let that point be O. Okay. So I'll make things very easy. So if that is O, this angle, let's give it anything. Let's say that is A. Okay. And this other angle, let's say this is B. All right. Then what is the other angle? This other angle, let's say that is C. Okay. What next do I need? You see this other angle here? Let's say this is E. All right. So we are almost there. What else do we need? Then which other angle do we need? We can get A, we can get B, we get C, E. all the same, then we are looking for x. Then we need this other angle here. Let's say that is D. Oh God, what the heck? All right, so then we also need this other angle. So now let's start by looking for A. We know A plus 60 plus 70 is equals to 180 degrees. Why? So look at A, look at we have 70 and 60. They are angles in a triangle. Okay? So A plus, that gives you 130 equals 180 minus 130 minus 130. This and this goes. So my A is equals to 50 degrees. Let's look for E. Okay? So we know E is equals to 60 plus 70 degrees. Why? One exterior angle, one exterior angle um, is equals to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. Okay? So my E is 130 degrees. So we've gotten E and B is the same. So definitely your B is equals to E. They are vertically opposite angles. So your B is also 130 degrees. And so let's put all the answers we've gotten here. E is 130, B 130, A is 50 degrees, which is the same as C, but we are going to, C is also 50. So C is equals to A. They are also vertically opposite angles. And vertically opposite angles vertically opposite angles are equal. So therefore your C is also 50 degrees. That's how we get that, okay? So now let me get rid of this. We are there, we are almost there. We need one angle more. And if we get that angle, then we can get very close to the answer. So let's see. Now we need this angle here. Ah, no way. Okay, fine. We need this angle from here to here. Okay. If we can get this angle, let's say that angle is U. We know that from triangle ABD, so this is A, B, and D. Look at it here. U plus 10, so this 10 and this 70, 10 plus this 60 is a triangle, right? A equals 180 degrees. Okay? Sum of angles in A triangle. So my U plus 140 is equals to 180 degrees. Then this is minus 140 minus 140. This and this goes, so my U is 40 degrees. So this U here is 40. Okay, remember, all right. Now that becomes very easy. The next thing we have to do, so is we might have solved certain angles that actually maybe we don't even need. Okay, which is just the truth. But all the same, that is good. For us to just learn this. Okay. So now, how do we get? We've gotten the U. We have B. We have C. We have E. We need X. We also need D. If we can get D, then that forms a triangle, right? So 10 plus U plus D plus X, that gives you a triangle. So we know that E is equals to D plus X. We know E is equals to D plus X. One exterior angle, this E here is equals to this X and this D. Okay? One exterior angle is equals to the two opposite interior angles. Okay? Sum of the two opposite interior angles. So meaning your D plus X is equals to, remember your E is 130 degrees. So that's equation 1. Okay? Let's form another equation that will have both E and X, both D and X. So from triangle ADE. So this is ADE. We can see that 10 plus U plus D plus X equals 180 degrees. Why? Sum of angles in a triangle. Okay? So this is 10 plus U is 40. We don't know D, we don't know X. We say everything equals to Okay, let's give it some time. Okay. So C plus D plus X, that should give you, C is your 50. Okay. Your C plus D plus X, that's 180 degrees. So let's see. 60 plus 80, 140. Then we have 20, 80, 80 base angles. We can get C angle there. Forget that angle. Mm. So it seems as if this needs a new approach, because what I'm seeing, we're going to have the D plus X 130, 130, and that cannot be the case because we're going to end up having just 0, which should not be. So we have, this is U, D, E, F, X plus D is equals to E, which is correct. So with this, we can get this angle. Mm-hmm. 80 plus 80, 160. So this is 160. That's 20. If this is 20 and E is already 130, that's 150, then we can get this one as 30. So 30 plus 20 plus D. How do we get D? (180) X plus C plus D. We already know what is C. It's 50. So I'm looking at this, how we can figure out X. The whole of this from here to here. This to this is 80 degrees. This to this is 80, which is 160. Then this is 20 because that gives you 180 degrees. Yeah, A is always 50. How do we get X? How do we get X? How do we get x? X plus d is always equals to 130. Hmm. And simply cannot be 0. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, my E is so here that's 30. We have X. Where am I? So, because what I'm seeing here right now, we are going to have D. We are still going to have D plus X as 130. And if equation 1 and equation 2 are both the same, then we end up having nothing. So it's like it has no solution, which should not be the case. So I'm thinking, let me just erase certain things. Maybe I have to sit again and try to figure this out. So we need X. We need X. I'll try to see. So we have to solve this one again. Okay. I'll try to figure it out. And that will be when I come back live. Must have gotten a solution if there is any solution to it. Okay, guys. See you again in my next live. Bye bye.